Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Toby Travanor, and today it's my pleasure to help to launch this brand spanking new Orbi 4GX router with satellite, and we're going to go into more details of that very, very soon. But as you know, ladies and gentlemen, Netgear has been a name that's been synonymous with excellence in both cellular and Wi-Fi coverage and connectivity for decades now. And to help me launch this today are some experts that we've brought along from Netgear, including today the Director of APAC Service Provider Sales, Rhye Bardwell. G'day, Rhye.
Hey Toby, how you going? Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And of course we've got Peter Paterajan, the Account Director for Telstra. He's with us here today as well.
Hi Toby, how are you?
And we also have Rhye Pathadu, Senior Systems Engineer from Netgear, to get under the bonnet and tell us more about what's happening deep at chip level.
Hey Toby, thanks for having me.
And we also have from Telstra today to give us an overview of what's happening within the plans, Simon Costanzo, who is the Senior Proposition Manager for SMB Postpaid.
Hi Toby, how are you?
Now, why don't we get stuck into it and get an understanding of how the Orbi 4GX router with satellites actually going to fit into the market. Rowan, I might start with you. As I mentioned before, you know, Netgear's been a name that's been around in Australia for quite some time now. How many decades is it exactly?
Hey Toby, look, we've been in the Australian market for approximately 20 years. And we've been working with Telstra for the best part of 17 years in terms of a number of strategic technology leading projects. Of recent times, most people in Telstra would know us for the Nighthawk M1 and the Nighthawk M2, which is the hugely successful products that have been being sold in their mobile broadband category. And we're also known throughout Australia for our home networking equipment. And one of the most, recent products that we've launched in the last couple of years is the Orbi Home Wi-Fi Mesh System, which is a product that allows people to get wall-to-wall whole of home Wi-Fi coverage.
Yeah, now, you know, we're going to talk about what a mesh system is later on, but why was this first Orbi so successful, do you think?
Well, if you think about the internet today, Toby, it's really seen as an essential service, I guess, by most people. And so most people want fast, reliable and stable internet access throughout the home. Basically, they want to be able to walk through the home and be able to move around the house like they would in an office environment. They want to be able to work in different rooms of their house. They want to be able to stream content to all corners.
Well, can I just say, when we say working from home, that could be paid work or school work.
Absolutely.
And the last thing you really want to do is to have everybody crowded around a Wi-Fi router because of the fact you don't have coverage throughout the house. So I can't wait to get into the device, Rowan. But before we do, I might just pop across to Peter Paterajan. Peter, we did talk about working from home as where the new Orbi might fit in, but where else do you see this device and this solution fitting into the market?
Yeah, Toby, so the Orbi 4GX router is a dual band 4GX device which comes as two-piece Wi-Fi mesh system. So apart from working from home, it's got a whole lot of other use cases. So particularly for customers who have temporary pop-up business locations, customers who have holiday homes, customers who have farmhouses, customers who move around in rental homes, and customers who have Wi-Fi dead spots, and also customers who have still not been connected with a fixed line connection to the premises.
But if right now what's driving us is working from home, what makes this device so suitable to do that?
Well, it's a great device for working from home because it's really fast, reliable, and it provides stable internet connectivity. It's great for working from home because it's safe and secure. It's got a Netgear app which provides a secure environment in your home network. It is great because it helps you to monitor your kids' internet behavior.
All right, that's terrific. I think that's going to be a must for those of us working from home. Now, the other thing is about working from home is that now that everyone's home, somebody's got their phone, a tablet, their computer, and you multiply that by two parents, a number of kids or whatever, and before you know it, you've kind of gone over what older style devices could connect. How many devices can this new Orbi 4GX router connect, Peter?
Well, you can connect at least up to 32 devices to the Orbi's 4GX router plus satellite. But that is only the minimum. You can connect to a number of devices much more than that.
All right, so if I've got IoT devices, like, everyone's putting in lamps and sound systems and, light fittings and that sort of stuff, this will all connect via the Orbi 4GX router as well.
That is correct. And not only that, it also helps you with your 4K streaming, and you can also use it for gaming and other high-tech purposes that you will be using from your house.
Brilliant. Well, you know what I want to do now is I want to kind of rip the covers off and get into deep technical land. And don't worry, for the people who are watching, not too deep. And with me here, Rhye, welcome back. So Rhye, let's rip the covers off, unscrew the star bolts or whatever they're called, and have a look at what's underneath this. I suppose a good starting point is this Wi-Fi mesh business. What's that all about?
So, Toby, the Orbi 4GX router is actually based off the award-winning Orbi Wi-Fi mesh technology. So it can cover up to 280 square meters of your home and deliver up to 1.2 gigabits of Wi-Fi performance. As well as if you wanted to upscale, so if you wanted to get a wider Wi-Fi footprint, you can just purchase an add-on satellite and then you can increase your Wi-Fi footprint.
All right, so what you're saying is that with the device, with the router and the satellite as it is, it'll do 280 square meters. But if I have a McMansion in Warrandyte in Victoria as an example, and it's enormous, you can just add satellites to have more coverage. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct, Toby, you can.
Now that's one side of it, Orbi. That's the Wi-Fi side. But on the other side, we've got to actually connect to the 4G network. What drives that connection in the Orbi 4GX router?
So Toby, under the bonnet, we're actually powered by a Qualcomm SDX20 Cat18 LTE module, which can deliver up to 1.2 gigabits of LTE speeds theoretically.
Orbi, nerding up challenge accepted. My understanding is also that this has, 4x4 MIMO streams on 3 LTE carriers, is able to carry 5 20 megahertz carrier signals so that we can do carrier aggregation. How am I doing?
That's correct, Toby. So yeah, it's 5 carrier aggregation and 4x4 MIMO. So
in other words, bloody quick.
It is definitely quick.
Okay, now that's fine. But one of the things that we can often see in an environment is that you still want to be able to use that Cat5 or Cat6 or Cat7 cable. Is it capable of doing that as well?
Yeah, good that you asked that question, Toby. So the actual router itself has 2 gigabit Ethernet ports. So you can actually plug in any legacy devices that's not Wi-Fi capable, as well as you could do what my son does and plug his gaming console directly into the Ethernet port, which reduces lag, reduces latency, and actually gives the user a better gaming experience. And also, not even that, so one of these gigabit Ethernet ports can actually be turned into a WAN port and can actually be used as LTE failover.
Okay.
So basically, Toby, you can actually have your fixed line internet connection powering up the Orbi 4GX router, have all your devices connected to it. If the Orbi 4GX router detects that your primary source of internet, which is your fixed line, has dropped, it will actually seamlessly fail over to LTE, as well as once it detects that the fixed line internet service is back up and running, it will also switch back automatically.
Well, thanks very much, Orbi. I know, I'm really excited about the stuff that's underneath the bonnet, but it's still got to connect to something. And of course, Netgear has chosen to exclusively develop this device with Telstra. And with us today from Telstra is Simon Costanzo. Welcome back, Simon. Now, everyone's going to want to buy one of these. So how are they going to do it? What sort of plans have you got?
We've got some great offers on this product. So the device starts from $16 a month, and that is a slight incremental payment on top of the plan. So our plans start as low as $15 a month with 5 gig of data, all the way through to $75 a month with 200 gig of data.
Oh, Simon, who would go for 5 gig? Who would go for 5 gig? It's 200 gig all the way as far as I'm concerned.
I would tend to agree with you, Toby. The price points are consistent across consumer and small business though. So as low as 15 for 5, 75 for 200. The main key difference being shareable data for our small business customers.
Right. And look, being a small business myself, having the comfort of shareable data makes an enormous difference to me. If I do my maths correctly, I can have the Orbi 4GX router with a satellite on a 200 gig plan for $91 a month.
Absolutely.
You know what, Simon? I'm sure there's going to be some interesting kind of marketing support materials for the Orbi 4GX router and satellite as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So all of our retail stores will have a demonstration unit available for customers to have a look, touch, feel, and play with. We're also in the planning stages of executing a digital and social media campaign with Netgear across targeting consumer and small business customers. So you'll see that in the usual places like Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, for example.
Well, thanks very much, Simon. And thank you to all of our guests today to help us launch this. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Rowan.
Thanks, Toby.
Peter.
Thanks, Toby.
Arodi.
Thanks, Toby.
Simon. The big thing here is the connectivity inside your dwelling that's going to make an absolute difference, because that's often the weakest link. And now that we're working from home, whether that's a home office or homeschooling, being able to work anywhere inside your home is going to make an enormous difference. So while all of us, or many of us, are working from home, now's a perfect time for all of you guys to be talking to your customers about what the experience is like, and now you have an offering that's going to be able to support them really well. I've been Toby Travener, ladies and gentlemen. Please say hi to your customers for me.